You're now listening to Loggers Tech Talks from Swamp Fox Insurance Agency.
Hey, good afternoon. My name is Tank Bryant, and I'm with Swamp Fox Insurance Agency. Our next guest that I have on the podcast today is Mr. Crad Jaynes. How you doing this afternoon, Mr. Crad?
Doing fine, Tank.
All right. So first off, welcome to our Summit podcast, Summit of the Loggers Technology Conference, sponsored by Swamp Fox Agency. Swamp Fox specializes in insuring loggers and their fleets throughout the southeastern United States. So, Mr. Crad, I'm going to kind of open it up to you a little bit. Can you tell us a little bit about your background and your current position?
Okay. Well, my background is I'm a forester. Graduated Clemson University with a Bachelor of Science and Master of Forestry.
Okay.
Wanted to get in the logging business, but of course, you got to have a little bit of coin to do that.
Yes, sir.
And I was approached and could have had a job as a, wood procurement forester with many of the companies. And but when I was in graduate school, I got interested in the logging side. And so I started out as a equipment representative in Columbia, South Carolina, for John Deere and a Barco loader dealer, and was the forestry representative. Did that, moved up in the company to assistant sales manager in charge of the safety of the facility, inventory, rental programs. What it was basically to let the sales manager get out there with the other guys and sell iron, And so I had an opportunity to go to work at Davis Garvin Agency, which was a large agency. It's no longer there. But we insured loggers all over the Southeast and into the Lake States for the contractors that would haul into, say, an International Paper Mill or Westvaco Mill, Georgia Pacific. We insured them for all their workers' compensation and employers' liability, general liability, auto liability, and physical damage for their woods equipment and rolling stock fleets. So, and then had opportunity in 1999 to come to South Carolina Timber Producers Association. I've been around this industry now 48 years.
Okay.
And gained a little bit of knowledge, I think, but a little bit of experience, I reckon. But I'm the president of South Carolina Timber Producers Association. We're the Loggers and Wood Suppliers Association for South Carolina. Our association is a charter member of the American Loggers Council. And my job is basically to answer to the board of directors. I have 11 board members. They're all loggers. And, what we do is try to service the industry, the logging segment, the wood supply segment of the wood supply chain in South Carolina, to provide support for legislative activity in Columbia or D.C. on legislative issues that may be favorable or unfavorable for the industry. So, and I'm a registered lobbyist in South Carolina, and we have, different categories of members: loggers, wood dealers, truckers, allied supplier members who are like truck dealers, equipment dealers, insurance providers. We endorse Swamp Fox Agency as the property and casualty agency for the association. Work very closely, of course, with Rick and y'all, everybody really there. And so, just other things like we've been fortunate enough to work in certain situations, such as increasing our gross vehicle weights for hauling unmanufactured forest products. We were instrumental in getting the tolerance rate of 10% raised to 15%. So that allowed us to go from 80,608 pounds to 84,272 pounds. But we were also instrumental working very closely with the Forestry Association of South Carolina, South Carolina Trucking Association, to implement the bulk ag 90,000-pound gross vehicle weight permit. It's a free permit through DOT. Allows you to haul 90,000 pounds of unmanufactured forest products or wood chips from the woods to a market. And so we've been very blessed to be able to do that. And like I said, we partner very closely with the Forestry Association of South Carolina and the South Carolina Forestry Commission. We also have conversations with the wood receiving mills, facilities, try to keep up with, what's economically going on in the state that's impacting the logging segment, and just provide knowledge. Somebody calls about a trucking regulation or something. Well, I know the trucking regulation's pretty doggone good.
Absolutely.
And I've been with the association 25 years. So, and it's been fun. I love what I do. Mm-hmm. Most of all, love the people in the industry.
Absolutely.
And the entire industry. So,
and I've had the opportunity to go to the South Carolina Timber Producers Association meeting that you guys had in Myrtle Beach. It was a great time. There was a lot of people, a lot more people there. How many members do you guys have?
Probably right now we've lost some because of economic conditions, and I call it economic attrition.
There we go.
And so we dropped down. We're probably somewhere around 250.
Okay.
Something like that. But that includes all categories of membership.
Okay.
The logger membership is probably in the neighborhood of 130 to 40, maybe a little less now. I haven't really checked the numbers in my database here recently. But, we just try to stay on top of things for them,
Yes, sir.
They got jobs to do and stuff to do in their businesses, so, and if they have any issues, like with South Carolina State Transport Police, who is the agency that regulates commercial motor vehicles. Maybe they got a question on a ticket, or, I got cited for this, but it's the officer didn't really know what he was doing, type thing. So, we help on that a lot, and I have a great relationship with State Transport Police, and which has been a blessing.
All right. Well, you answered my next question was I was going to ask you what were some of the benefits that loggers receive from working with you, but, you kind of answered that question, and I can tell that, as a logger in South Carolina, if you're not part of the South Carolina Timber Producers Association, you might need to look into that.
You need to, because what you're doing, if you're not a member, you're riding the coattail of those that are.
Absolutely.
But you're getting the same benefit that we provide through the association, like legislated things, things like that. So work very closely with South Carolina Department of Transportation on road issues, bridge issues, which is a tremendous issue in South Carolina, particularly for our industry hauling, heavy weights. So, but yeah, everybody needs to be.
Okay. All right. And so what have you enjoyed, or what did you enjoy about the summit that we had this week?
Well, when Rick came up with this idea and Sarah, they approached me about it. I said, do it, and it's just a way to bring in professional loggers to show them and hopefully give them the information to take back to implement in their businesses. Like today with the Samsara, we offer Samsara offers a 15% discount to South Carolina Timber Producers Association members. And so it's what the purpose is to me is to say, hey, look, guys, here's this. Here's Bendix talking today, and Todd from Southern Loggers Cooperative. We have 3 depots in South Carolina with Southern Loggers Cooperative. So it's that ability to provide that knowledge and information. And I'm 71 years old, and me and technology don't jive a lot. So a lot of this
me neither.
this technical stuff is over my head, So I'll have to call my son or daughter and say, what is this? How do I do this? So.
All right. Well, Mr. Crad, once again, it's always a pleasure talking to you. When I see you at these events, a little bit of you rubs off on me every time I see you, and every time I talk to you. Like I told you earlier, I'd be crazy not to listen to a person with your experience, because I have none. So or at least very minimal. So
hey, Tank, I'll mentor you as best I can.
I appreciate it. But once again, Mr. Crad Jaynes from the SCTPA, appreciate you coming down to the summit, and thank you for coming and sitting down and speaking with me on the podcast.
No problem. No
right,
problem.
thank you, sir.
Enjoyed it. Thank you, Tank.
Thanks for listening. Be sure to hit that follow button on YouTube for more great content from Swamp Fox Insurance Agency.